started. So say hello wherever you're logging in from, whether you are on Zoom with me or whether you are joining on Instagram. We'll get started in a second. So yes, my name is Emily Mascarenas. I am a doTERRA Blue Diamond leader. I am also a mum of 3 beautiful boys. My page is Blooming and Glowing, and I am very excited to talk to you tonight about doTERRA essential oils. And what I do is once a month, I do a little class like this to introduce anybody to these beautiful natural creations that Mother Nature provided for us. So this class is designed for anybody who's quite new to essential oils, or even anyone who's maybe done a class before and wants a bit of a recap. You know, it's always good to recap. I always learn so much from just watching other people, and I never get tired of learning, even doing the introductory classes. So, hello everybody, say hi. It's always good to get feedback from you and see that you're there and it's all working properly. So yeah, this is me in the picture here. If you're on Zoom, you get to see pictures. If you're on Instagram, you just get to see me. Hi. So this is a picture of me and my family in Bushy Park. This is where we live in southwest London. We spend a lot of our time in that park, out in the nature. And that's our dog Dot. Okay, so let's jump in. I'm going to talk to you about our topic tonight, which is essential oils. And this is a subject that I'm very, very passionate about. As I said, I'm a Blue Diamond leader with doTERRA. I've been with doTERRA for about 2.5 years, actually. And now I lead one of the fastest growing teams in Europe. We've got some amazing, amazing people on our team and just part of doTERRA. It's an incredible company that shares our beautiful oils around the world, bringing health and healing to the lives of many. So if you don't yet know much about doTERRA, then you are in for a treat, let me reassure you. So before we actually jump in and learn how the different oils work and the different oils that you can be using for different ailments, because there are many, I always like to start my classes by talking to you about what an essential oil actually is. Because here's the thing, when I first started, I wasn't really sure what an essential oil was. I knew that it was natural, but along my kind of journey into natural health, I'd explored lots of different options of natural health care, like herbal remedies and tinctures, homeopathy, and essential oils are quite different. So essential oils are actually the volatile liquid that's been extracted from a plant, and it can come from a different part of the plant depending on what essential oil we're actually talking about. Could be the root, could be the stem, the bark, the seeds, the petal. It's actually the immune system of the plant as well. So this is really cool. So just like we have our own immune systems, so do plants, to protect themselves from viruses, from bacteria, from germs, from predators, from sunlight. And because we are carbon-based and so are plants, we can tap in on that immune system and use it for our own benefit. But the great thing is, about essential oils is they are 100% pure and natural and as nature intended. And the other great thing is that, have very few side effects, if any, and they're not addictive in the same way that medication can sometimes be. So what I'm saying here is, don't get me wrong, we are very, very lucky to have the medical system that we do have, certainly in the UK. Depends where you're logging in from, what your medical system is where you live, but we're very lucky to have that, and I'm very grateful for that. And I'm not saying that I would never turn to medication, but what I do think is it's wonderful to have other alternatives to reach for in times of need, which mean that sometimes you don't have to go down the other route. And these essential oils are very, very powerful, and they really work, okay? And there's a lot of science behind them as well. And that's the great thing about this. There is so much science and research behind essential oils these days. This is not kind of hocus pocus or witchcraft, I'm afraid. It's real and they work. By the way, hopefully it's not too noisy out there, because we have 3 children on Easter holidays at the moment, and they're not in bed yet. So I'm hoping that they're out there with Daddy having fun, but I hope it's not going to be too noisy. So I'll tell you a little bit about the essential oils in a moment, but I just want you to know that there is a big difference when it comes to essential oils. Kind of like skincare, you never can really rely on that you're getting a true representation of what it says on the bottle. Okay, this is an industry that is not regulated, so a bottle of essential oil that you can buy at your local store could say that it's pure on the bottle. It can say that it's natural. It can even say that it's organic. But in reality, you have no idea what you're actually getting. And that is the shocking thing, actually. It's quite worrying. So what we have with doTERRA is something quite different, and we can guarantee the purity of the oils. Okay, so there's me in a lavender field. I was very lucky to be able to go and visit Bulgaria a few years ago with doTERRA, and that was when my little baby Ziggy was only 3 months old, bless him. He was sleeping because we were in the lavender field. So moving on to the next slide for those Zoomers and Instagram, hopefully you can keep up. We've talked about what an essential oil actually is, but what I want to really talk about is the doTERRA difference. So doTERRA realised that there was no kind of transparency across the industry, and unfortunately a lot of essential oils were being sold and people were being led to believe that they were 100% pure and natural, but the reality was that they weren't. And so doTERRA decided that they wanted to create the purest essential oils in the world, so you could really trust what you were buying and know what you were using. Okay, so they created something called CPTG. So you'll see on every single bottle of essential oil, it will say CPTG. Don't know if you can see that, but that stands for Certified Pure Therapeutic Grade. And that equates to several different things. The first thing is the testing. Okay, so we can really guarantee that these oils are the purest oils that you're going to get, because we know doTERRA do so much rigorous testing. So there's no chance that any traces of pesticides or mold or fungus or synthetics or anything else is going to get into this bottle. It is exactly what it says on the tin. And we even have something now where you can look up the lot number on the bottom of the bottle, and that will bring up the GCMS testing, which is your gas chromatography mass spectroscopy testing. It's your purity testing, okay? No other company is doing this. It's so transparent. It costs doTERRA a lot of money. They are the biggest essential oil company in the world. Why? Because their oils are really of the topmost quality. And it was always their business model to spend as much money as possible in creating these oils, so you really could guarantee that you were getting the quality that you thought. But it's like anything in life, you kind of, with essential oils, you really do get what you paid for. So don't waste your money on a bottle of essential oil that perchance has very little of the essential oil in it that it says it is. There's a lot of tests going on these days, and bottles of oils that say they're pure on them are coming back at containing very little percentage of the oil that they say that they are, and in some cases 0%. One of our girls from our team, she had a bottle of essential oil in her cupboard, and then one of the biochemists, the leading biochemist in the world, he tests essential oils, called Dr. Pappas. He was testing that particular bottle of essential oil, and it came back as containing 0% of the oil that it says it was on the bottle, and it was quite an expensive oil. So this is the thing, and the problem is essential oils contain such tiny small molecules and chemical structure, so however you decide to use them, they are going to be getting into the blood system and getting into every single cell in your body. So you really do want to be using a pure oil, because you don't want contaminants or pesticides or synthetics being traveled into your blood system and into your cells. or that of your families. You know, if you're diffusing an essential oil and you guys are all breathing it in and it contains synthetics or pesticides, you're breathing that into your blood system and into your cells, okay? And this is the importance. So we can guarantee that our oils are pure, they are safe, and they're potent. So this is the other thing, right? So obviously purity is really, really important, that we know that we've got a pure oil, that we know that there's nothing else getting in there. But the other thing that is really, really key here is the potency, okay? So if I was to say to you, what do you think the difference in a plant would be if it was growing in its natural indigenous habitat somewhere in the Mediterranean, or growing on your windowsill? What do you think would be the plant with the most powerful immune system? It would be the one that is growing happily and healthily in its own natural environment, okay? So what tends to happen these days is, to save on money, a lot of essential oil companies will be farming their oils, or they will be buying in from suppliers. And obviously an oil that comes from a plant that's grown in a greenhouse somewhere in the UK maybe is going to be totally different. So what doTERRA are doing is they're sourcing from all over the world. They're really, really strategic with this, at finding the perfect location to create the oil that they want, that comes from that plant that has that powerful immune system. So you've got things like frankincense from Oman and Somalia, you've got lemons from Sicily, you've got lavender from Bulgaria and the French Alps, you know, all over the world. And this is why the potency is different. This is why these bottles of oil smell so different to other oils that you might have smelt before. They're alive and they're vibrant, and this is why they work as well. So that's something called co-impact sourcing, the fact that they're sourced all over the world. And doTERRA take everything into consideration, like the soil, the climate, the altitude, even things like the time of day that they're sourcing. So the plant's immune system is really ripe. And they even touch in some locations on biodynamic farming. So they're really, really going to every level to ensure that they're getting the purity and the potency. So they're safe and natural, but also they work. And if you're interested in this side of things, you're going to want to look up a website called Source2You. So it's www.source2you.com. I think Nesta was on here. She was going to post some links for you. I'm not sure if she's done that yet. But yeah, www.source2you.com. And this is going to really take you through how doTERRA create their oils, but also their ethics, okay? So doTERRA are a really ethical company. They really care about the people, first of all, that they're providing the oils for, but also the work that they're doing with the people who are creating the oils. And the thing is because we're sourcing from over 40 different countries worldwide, and over 26 of these are considered developing countries. So what we're doing here is something really, really beautiful. We're working with communities and giving them the opportunity that they desire just to work and provide for their family. But in doing so, we're also helping them to achieve better payment than they perhaps would have been able to achieve before. For example, you know, when it comes to frankincense in Somalia, doTERRA are really trying to cut out the middlemen so they can really pay the growers and the harvesters what they deserve to be paid, so they can have a life, so they can have a future. And they're working with them to make sure that they're really keeping in tune with nature. So they're not going to have any negative footprint on nature and on the environment. And even, you know, if you're on Zoom, you'll be able to see a picture come up here. This is a picture of our founders. They're amazing people. 4 of them in this picture. There's 7 altogether, but a picture of them in Haiti. And so they source a beautiful oil called vetiver from Haiti. It's a great oil for deep sleep. Anyway, when doTERRA went to this village to speak to the harvesters and the distillers and to try and work with them, they realized that they still didn't even have any running water in their village. These things that we take for granted, and every day, you know, we have running water at the tap, but some people around the world, they don't. So what doTERRA did here is they they created water for the town. They built a well, so that there was not only water for the village, there was water for the school. On the right here, we've got a picture of some children that were affected by a natural disaster, by the earthquakes that were in Nepal several years ago. doTERRA had a really big fundraising for anybody that was affected by this, and they were helping to rebuild homes, helping to rebuild schools. In fact, doTERRA have built the only 2 earthquake resistant schools in Nepal, and they're doing this all over the world. We're actually raising money right now, my team and another team in the UK, to support the people in Uganda, in a shelter called the Little Denmark shelter, and 50 of these people have polio and leprosy. Their limbs don't work, and that they live next to a canal, and every time it's the rainy season it floods into the shelter. And what doTERRA have said to us is if we can raise so much money by Saturday, by the end of the month, that they will double it, and we're nearly there. We've nearly raised it, so we're going to have $20,000 to be able to rebuild a shelter for these people in Uganda. And so, doTERRA is an incredible company, not just for these bottles of oils, how they help me and my family and even my community, but for the footprint that they're making on this earth to help and to heal and to bring love to people's lives. And that is something that's incredibly special to me, but also I know really special to most people in doTERRA. And if you're on Zoom there, you can see some other organisations that doTERRA support. Days for Girls, that teaches young women about their bodies and provides them with reusable sanitary equipment in some of these countries where they have some really funny beliefs. It's teaching women to have pride and respect their bodies and love their bodies and not be shamed. And then Operation Underground Railroad is an incredible organisation that is saving children from the sex trade. And doTERRA even created a signature blend oil called Hope. 100% of the profits from this oil go to Operation Underground Railroad. So yeah, I'm very proud of doTERRA for being part of all of these different fundraising causes, and it keeps going on, and I'm excited to get involved with this myself and to actually teach my children about it. My husband Tim is hopefully going to be going over to Uganda in April to help these people and to rebuild their hospital. So amazing to be part of something where you feel like you can make a difference. Anyway, back to the oils. So another thing that I wanted to touch on is that the oils are a fantastic alternative or complement to your medicine cabinet. And as I said before, we're lucky that we do have Western medicine. It does save lives. It's great for things like broken bones, but we don't always need to reach for that stuff. The thing is our bodies want to be well, and our bodies do have a capacity to be able to heal themselves if we look after them right. Okay, so we need to obviously look at all of our lifestyle choices, but these oils can really help with all of that. Okay, so in comparison, they actually can be a little bit cheaper as well. So for example, 1 drop of this peppermint oil here for occasional stomach upset or head tension will cost you around 12p, whereas a tablet that you might take for indigestion or a heartburn might cost you about 20p, or a tablet that you might take for head tension will cost you a lot more as well. So in many cases, these oils are actually a cheaper alternative. For me, I suffer with allergies, so I don't want to take antihistamines. They knock me out. They make me feel really drowsy. I don't want to expose myself to those chemicals all the time. So I would rather use my allergy trio, which is my lemon, my lavender, and my peppermint. And that for me is a really, really effective natural solution to help me to manage my symptoms. You have the lemon oil for the cleansing element, you have the peppermint for unblocking the respiratory system, and you have your lavender, which is your antihistamine. So yeah, They're a great alternative or complement. And the great thing is, as I said, there's a lot of science and research behind essential oils these days. And we do have a lot of medical people within doTERRA. It all starts with the scientists and the doctors and the biochemists. We have Aromatic Science, which is a great website that you can look up. And we have PubMed, which is, this is a scientific journal. All you need to do is go on there, type in essential oils and start reading up on the research. There is so much now these days, and it's fascinating stuff. So go and look for yourself. I would encourage you to do that so you can form your own opinion on whether this stuff is real. Science is leading the way. And one of the reasons for this, and as I said, I do also have medical people on my team, and I have a doctor on my team, and she will say when somebody comes to come and see me in the surgery, in most cases it's a virus. And obviously if we go to the doctors, we have a virus, they can't really give us anything. They just say go away, rest up, drink lots of water and let it pass. That's because viruses live within cells, okay? And cells have they have a fat outer layer, okay? So they're lipid based. Now, standard Western meds, they're water based, so they can't cross through cells, and they can't do anything when it comes to viruses in most cases. Bacteria tends to often float around the body, so that's kind of different. But unfortunately, what we're seeing these days is an overuse of antibiotics. So we're seeing antibiotic resistant bacteria. We're also seeing superbugs, and also we know now that it's not healthy for us to be using antibiotics regularly because it's going to have a negative effect on our good gut flora that we need, which is our immune system. So we don't want to be using antibiotics all the time, especially if there are safe and natural solutions. But the really cool thing about essential oils is, as I said before, they contain very, very fine complex structure. Also, they are fat-based, so they do have the ability to be able to penetrate the cells, and they do have the ability to be able to kill viruses within cells, and they can kill bacteria that's around the body as well. And this is what makes them really, really exciting. But you know what? This is nothing new. Civilizations have been using essential oils as medicine since the beginning of time. There's hundreds of references to them being used in the Bible, in like ancient Egyptian Sanskrit. I read an interesting fact the other day, and that they estimate that there's over 500,000 different species of plants in the world these days, and only 10,000 of these have been tested for their medicinal benefit. And the only reason for that is because of ancient folklore. That's why they've actually been looked into and researched. So that means only 10,000 plants out of an estimated 500,000 plants in the world have been tested for their healing capacity. That would tell me that there is a lot more healing that is there to be found in the plant world. And actually, 25% of Western meds starts with plants anyway, okay? So yeah, there's a lot of science there, and go and do your research if you're interested. There's lots to find. And the great thing as well about essential oils is it's easy as knowing your A to Z. So if you can read your A to Z, you can use essential oils. We have many, many amazing resources from doTERRA, or you can, use your own resources, find books. There's hundreds of them on the internet. I love reading my books. I love learning more about plant-based wisdom. A couple of resources that we suggest within my team is the Modern Essentials book. That's a great one that you can get, and also the Essential Life book. You can get these from Essential Oil Supplies. Okay, so that's www.essentialoilsupplies.co.uk. They're so easy to use. Literally, it will tell you all about the science behind the oils, how they work, why they work. You can look up the single oils, you can look up the blends, and then it's going to tell you which different oils that you can use for the different ailments. And it's going to give you several to choose from as well. So we just tend to say, go with what you've got. The thing as well to remember is that everybody's body chemistry is different. So what works for you might not work for me. And what I like to encourage people with essential oils is to feel your way. test it, try it, see how you feel, follow the guidelines, use that as your shell or as your skeleton, and then tune in with your body and listen in, see how that feels. We seem to, as a society, have lost the ability to listen to our bodies and to be intuitive. And actually, it will tell us everything we need to know. So if you apply an essential oil to your skin and it doesn't feel good, then that's going to imply to you that you might have a bit of a sensitivity to that oil. So you're going to want to dilute it a bit more. You know, it's not hard, but the great thing about the oils is because they're so pure, you know, you might get a little bit of a skin sensitivity, and that's probably going to be it. However, you do need to respect them and you do need to use them safely because they are powerful. They're very, very concentrated. You know, 1 drop of this peppermint oil is equivalent to 28 cups of your peppermint tea. So they are really, really powerful. So you do need to look after them. But as I said, they're easy to use if you're using the books, using the resources. If you're on Zoom now, you can see I've got an app that you can get on your phone, which is called the Modern Essentials app. And again, that's kind of handy if you don't want to carry a book around with you. If you're out and about and somebody has an ailment, you can look it up on your phone and it'll tell you what to use and how and when. I think that's like £6, that app. So really, really good value. Okay, so yeah, I touched on the fact that they're a very cost-effective natural solution as well. But, you know, here's something that I want you to think about actually. So if you are getting ill regularly, that may mean that you're having to have time off work. That is going to cost you more than 1 drop, probably, of essential oil. This is the thing that you need to think about. You know, sometimes because these oils are so powerful and so concentrated, sometimes all you need is 1 drop. And so actually they are really cost effective. So what about if your child's getting ill regularly? You're going to have time off work to look after them. And again, that's probably going to cost you a lot more than 1 drop of essential oil. And then what about just the cost of the petrol to drive to the doctor's surgery? That is probably going to cost you more than 1 drop of your essential oil. So actually, if cost is an issue, then I say to people, hey, you need them even more. You really need these. And don't waste your money on stuff that isn't pure, that probably isn't going to work and that isn't going to be good for you. You know, even if it means just saving and waiting, get the good stuff. Get something you can trust. So I'm going to show you something called the WOP now. I've heard this referred to before as a nosegasm. Kind of is. So wild orange and peppermint oil. 2 beauties. Wild orange is sourced from the Dominican Republic. It's very uplifting and energizing. The citrus oils are really good for the mood. My son likes to go to school sometimes with this one in his book bag, which is really cute. It's also really, really nice in fizzy water as like an alternative to a naughty fizzy citrus drink. Really nice in natural yogurt, granola. Peppermint. This one's quite stimulating, okay? So you're not going to want to use this just before bed because it might keep you awake. I'll go into peppermint in a little bit more detail in a minute, but I'm just going to show you what we do. This is a really powerful first-time experience. So any of you guys that are building a doTERRA business, this is something that we like to do for people as like a first impression of the oils because it's really, really powerful. So what we do is we will put a drop of wild orange in one hand. I like to tell people to inhale it first so they can just smell it on its own. And then a drop of peppermint oil in the other hand. I'm going to use it in the same hand because I've only got one hand. And then smell it separately, rub them together. Cup your hands, close your eyes, and just take like several really like deep, deep breaths. And then just enjoy that moment and be mindful of those deep breaths. And just kind of feel your airways opening, feel the energy that brings you, and just see how it makes you feel. Like, I love watching people's faces when I do this experience on them because it just shows how these oils can change the way that you're feeling. Everybody smiles, everybody kind of relaxes, and that is because there's science going on here. So what is actually happening when we inhale an oil is the aroma travels up the nose, reaches the olfactory nerves at the back of the nose. This will send direct messages to the limbic part of your brain. This is where your emotions lie. And then that will send messages out to the rest of the body. And so, yeah, you can really be using the essential oils to change how you're feeling emotionally and mentally. I like to do this in the mornings, the WOP. If I'm feeling a bit tired, I'll always have my wild orange and peppermint in the car with me if I'm driving. I lead a busy life. I'm a mum of my 3 boys. I don't sit down very much. So when I do sit down in the car, if it's a bit warm, I sometimes feel a bit tired. So I'll get my wild orange and peppermint out. It's really nice, like on the base of the shower in the morning. So it's going to kind of steam and invigorate. Yeah, and it is totally a nosegasm. So if you haven't tried this yet, then you're going to want to ask the person who's introduced you to doTERRA to do this for you, because it's an amazing first-time experience. And if you are building the doTERRA business, this is a great way to introduce people to the oils and give them a beautiful, beautiful experience to get going with. Okay, so there are 3 ways to use the doTERRA oils: aromatically, topically, and with our oils only, internally. So I'm just going to take you through these 3 ways briefly. So aromatically means you need to inhale it. It's about the aroma. So we've kind of had an aromatic experience there by just breathing in from the palms of the hands. You could be using a diffuser. You want to use a cool mist diffuser. You don't want to be burning the oil because that's going to destroy the therapeutic quality. What happens there is 2 things. So first of all, you're going to be killing the germs in the air and purifying the air, but also you have this ability to be able to change the atmosphere and the mood of the room. And you really can be choosing how you want to feel. So for example, in the mornings, I like to get my diffuser going. I'll select some oils that are quite uplifting and inspiring. If I've got to do some work, I might have my passion oil going, or I might choose some citrus oils and some peppermint to uplift and energize. If it's in the afternoon, I'm wanting to relax a bit, I might choose some more calming floral oils, or I might have them going while my children are bathing. I might have the diffuser going in their bedroom, so ready when they go up there, the room's going to be really, really calm, and that's going to help them to get really nice and zen and drift off to sleep happily and peacefully. And we have some beautiful, beautiful single and blended oils with doTERRA for all of this. So that's aromatically. Remember, you want to use a pure oil, because when you inhale an aroma, it's going to travel through the lungs, through the villi in the lungs, into the blood system and into every cell of the body. So you do definitely wanting to be using pure oil. The second way you can use the oils is topically. So this means you're applying the oil to the skin. We do suggest dilution. I mean, everybody's sensitivity is different, and some of the oils are more gentle than others. However, personally, I do suggest dilution, because it's not going to mean your oil doesn't work as any less. It actually sometimes means that it holds the oil on the skin as opposed to makes it evaporate. So I suggest using a fractionated coconut oil that doTERRA use, because it's CPTG tested. We know it doesn't have any mold or fungus or traces of anything in there that's going to go rancid. We know it's going to work well with our oils. It's unscented, so you can really flavor it yourself. And also it's light. It's not greasy or anything, but you could use any good quality carrier oil that you have. Now, when you use an oil topically, it's going to work in a localized way, but also systemically, because it's going to get through the whole body, through the whole blood system. So if you have a sore shoulder, for example, you could be applying the oil to that area. But if you want the oil to work systemically, it's still going to be getting into the blood system and around every cell of the body. So you can be applying oils to the soles of the feet. This is a really good place to be using the oils. The skin is thicker, so it's kind of less sensitive there. So it's a great place to be applying oils for children. But also the pores are larger on the soles of our feet, so the oil is going to get into the blood system nice and quickly. And it's said that when you apply an oil to the soles of the feet, it gets into the blood system in about 20 seconds. And in around 20 minutes, that oil will be in approximately every cell of the body. So really, really powerful stuff. Yeah, with children, the soles of the feet are a good place, and then socks on afterwards. And you know, something else that this brings is massage and touch, which is really, really powerful. And we need to do this more. And it's a lovely bonding experience. Obviously, I have little ones, so I like to sometimes give them a tummy massage and sort of sing round and round the garden. Or, you know, if I'm putting the oils on their feet, I'll sing the piggy song. And it's just a really lovely connection that you can have with somebody and a gift that you can give. So the third way that you can use the oils is internally, and this is only with doTERRA oils, because you want to be using a company and a brand that you can trust. And as I said, in most cases you can't really trust the company. If it says on the bottle not for internal use, there's a big chance that that oil is not pure. And what a lot of companies are doing is they're replacing part of the oil with an oil that may smell similar but doesn't have the same chemical constituency and isn't the same oil that it says it is. And then, you know, again, they're not doing as many tests as we are doing with doTERRA in most cases. So doTERRA do like 5 different tests over 3 different periods over the life of the oil before it's distributed, all with state-of-the-art equipment, so we can really guarantee that there's nothing else that's got in there. And they keep like a sample vial of every single batch of oil since the beginning, since doTERRA started, so they can always trace back on that batch of oil. So it's kind of really amazing that they do this. So when you're using an oil internally, this makes it very exciting. So you can be adding to water. So I have my bottle of water here and with my citrus oils in. Tangerine is my total favorite at the moment, full of healing benefits and tastes amazing. But you could use any citrus oil. Now, when you're using an essential oil in water, you're going to be wanting to concentrate on the container and thinking about that. So you need to be using, see, this is glass actually. Stainless steel will be fine as well, or ceramic. You don't want to be using plastic, because what will happen is the oils will denature the toxins in the plastic and break it down, and then you'll be drinking that. So obviously that's not what you really want to be doing. Defeats the object and all that. So you can be using the oils in water. You can be adding them to kind of salad dressings, raw chocolates. That's really nice. Smoothies. Loads of fun you can have with them. And just even going on Pinterest and getting lots of ideas. You can get ideas for recipes. You can get ideas for diffuser recipes. Oh, I wanted to show you this as well. So this is my diffuser bracelet. You can get some lovely, lovely different designs of diffuser bracelets. This is from Aroma Love London, Manisha at Aroma Love London. She's a great girl, and her jewelry is really nice because it's really good quality. So I have several necklaces like this, but this is my bracelet, and literally you just open it up. It has like a little felt pad inside. You can change the color so you can accessorize, match your outfit. But yeah, you put a drop or 2 of your oil in there, and then it's in there as and when you need it. I love that when my children are kind of running around Sainsbury's in opposite directions. I've got my oil there and I'm ready to take on the world. Hi, Natalie. So yeah, these are the 3 ways that you can be using the oils: aromatically, topically, and internally. Only doTERRA internally. Also, when we're talking about internalization, you can be taking the oils in a veggie capsule. So again, remember, we go back to the book, we go back to the guidelines. They're very easy to follow, but the veggie capsules are like little tiny vegetable capsules. They're empty. You open them up, you put a couple of drops of the suggested oils in and take them like you would take a tablet. And you're probably going to do that 2 or 3 times a day. That will zap anything you've got going on. And often mean that you don't need to reach for anything else. And it's really, really easy to follow. A lot of my team will take something like a powerful immunity bomb, and that will contain some different powerhouse oils, and they'll use that 3 times a day, a little bit like they might take an antibiotic, and that is all they need. So yeah, you really can be experimenting and having fun with the oils, but you know, they're extremely powerful, and you'll just start to feel your way. But go back to the guidelines and just learn from that. Use your book, use the resources that doTERRA provide us with. It's all there, the information's all there. Quick note on essential oil safety. Hi, Cindery. we don't want to be putting the oils in the eyes, in the ear canal, or directly up the nose, okay? If you do get the oils in your eyes, my husband does quite a lot, don't really know how, but he suffers from head tension sometimes, and there are some great oils that he uses, but then he applies them to his temples, forgets, probably rubs his eyes, and I'm not going to lie, it does sting, but it's not going to harm you. But what you want to do is you want to wipe out with the carrier oil. So if you're on Zoom, you'll be able to see the picture of the doTERRA fractionated coconut oil. Wipe away with that. Same if you get any skin sensitivity on the body, wipe away with the carrier oil. Don't use water, because that's going to drive it deeper in. You want to use carrier oil, even olive oil if that's what you've got at hand, but fractionated coconut oil is a good choice. And then, yeah, these are the different application methods. So aromatically, topically, internally, and then, you know, depending on skin sensitivity, we would suggest dilution. Some oils are hotter than others. Follow the guidelines and you can't go wrong. Okay. So before we move on to talk about the oils, I just wanted to show you or talk about the doTERRA lifestyle pyramid, okay? Because what I love about doTERRA is we are a wellness company, okay? So we don't just say you can use the oils and all your problems are going to be answered. It doesn't matter what you do the rest of your time. It doesn't matter what you eat or how you sleep or how much exercise you do, how much you drink. Use the oils and you'll be fine, because that would be a total lie. You know, if you are living a really, really unhealthy life and having a really bad diet and not doing any exercise and smoking and drinking loads, then the oils are probably not going to help that much, okay? What we need to address is the whole picture, okay? And the great thing about it is it doesn't have to be overwhelming. You can just make small steps and take bite-sized nuggets into gently and slowly upgrading your choices to healthier choices and to living a better life. You deserve to live that life. You deserve to feel the best you possibly can in your body. And I love this about doTERRA. I love how it connects you with yourself and it helps you just to feel blissful and on a path to finding true wellness, okay? So this lifestyle pyramid here is really nice because on the base of it, you have nutrition and what you eat. Of course, what you put into your body, it's your engine, it's your petrol, isn't it? And then we have exercise, we have rest and how we manage our stress levels, reducing toxic load, and what we're exposed to, informed self-care. So this is kind of your skincare products, the products that you're using on your body. And then right at the top there are proactive medical care. And what I love about doTERRA is you can use the doTERRA products on every level of this pyramid. So right down at the bottom, when we're talking about nutrition, the key thing here is that sadly, these days, most of us are deficient in nutrition. Even if we eat really, really well, even if we eat great healthy diets, I eat pretty much totally organic, and it's mainly plant-based. I would consider my diet to be very healthy. However, I realize now that even if we do eat well, most of us are still not getting the nutrition that we need. Sadly, these days, the food is not how it used to be. The soil is very depleted of vitamins and minerals. And what tends to happen is the soil is not crop rotated. It's over farmed. We're also getting a lot of food these days that's not seasonal, so it's getting shipped in or flown in. They tend to pick it before it's ripe, so it's not having given the time it needs to develop the enzymes that we need. And sometimes the food's stored for months before we actually even eat it. You know, it's not fresh. It does not have the same nutrition as something that has just come out of the ground, okay? So most of us have gaps here. So this product is an incredible product that I wanted to tell you about. It's called the Lifelong Vitality Kit. And this contains 3 different bottles of supplements. It's actually doTERRA's #1 best-selling product. It has a 30-day back money guarantee as well, which I think says an awful lot, actually. So you've got in here, you've got your food nutrient complex, which is all whole foods. It's all natural. It's got a superfood complex in there as well, and herbs and minerals and vitamins that you just simply won't be getting from your diet. You just won't. So that's amazing. Then you also have the Zeomega in there as well, which is it's your omegas all in the right balance, so they're not kind of cancelling each other out. But also you have 9 essential oils in there as well, that we need to be taking every day for inflammation in the body, and also for antioxidants to boost our immunity and to help eliminate the free radicals. So that's there too. And then you have the alpha CRS, which is your cellular vitality complex. Okay, so this is for the energy in the cells, for the mitochondria. And people take this product and they notice a significant difference. And when I started doTERRA, I must admit, I was like, oh, I don't really get the supplements. I love the oils. I want the oils, but I don't really get supplements. I don't need those. I eat well. But actually, the more I know now, the more I've learned, most of us do need them. And they just tend to, as I say, they fill the gaps. And I've noticed, certainly myself, if I stop taking them, I notice a significant decrease in energy levels. And my husband actually started taking them before me, and he noticed that some of the pain in his body went away overnight. And, you know, he's a busy guy. We've obviously got the young children. He was cycling into London and cycling home every day, doing a couple of shows of Phantom of the Opera because he was an actor. And, you know, life takes its toll, doesn't it? And so we all need a bit of extra help. And this is what this pack does. It really does that. So anybody who just needs a bit more energy in their life, or has pain in their body, wants a better night's sleep, wants to support their mood, this is an amazing, amazing product. And as I say, it offers a 30-day back money guarantee as well. So that kind of is like a nail in the coffin to me. So you've got to try this if you haven't tried it already. So that is a Lifelong Vitality Kit. Now I'm going to move on and tell you about the oils. Okay, so doTERRA do over 80 different products, all starting with our beautiful pure oils, but I haven't got time to tell you all about the different products tonight. This is an introductory class that I run every month for anybody who's new to learning. So I like to introduce you first of all to a kit called the Family Essentials Kit. Okay, and this contains 10 oils, 6 single oils and 4 blends. It's a really, really great introduction to the oils. They're incredibly versatile. They do so much, and it gives you a really well-rounded picture of just how much they can do. So let's dive in and talk about these. So the first oil in the kit that I'm going to tell you about is lemon. Now, a lot of people these days like to take a slice of lemon in their water in the morning to drink. This is a great alternative to that, because the lemon that is in the bottle of lemon essential oil is cold pressed. It's from the rind of the fruit, okay? So it's not acidic. So when you're drinking lemon in your water in the morning to detoxify, this is having a negative effect on the enamel on your teeth because it's acidic in the mouth. Whereas the lemon essential oil is not. It's alkaline in the mouth and in the body as well. So it's a great option. So have it out by your kettle in the morning. What you're going to want to do if you're making yourself a hot drink is boil the kettle, pour it into your mug, and then let it cool a little bit before you add in the oil. So it's not going to flash off the therapeutic values. Now, lemon is very, very detoxifying by nature. What happens, unfortunately, is these days our bodies are exposed to loads and loads of chemicals in the food that we're eating. Some of it's sprayed with pesticides. We don't know exactly what contaminants are in there. In the air that we breathe, the pollution, in cleaning products that we're using in our homes. You know, the air in our homes is more toxic than the air outside. So our bodies can't eliminate these toxins. And I did a really nice presentation a couple of weeks ago on how to green clean your home with essential oils. They're very powerful at killing the germs, but they also add a sense of bliss to a rather mundane task. So if you're interested in learning about that or watching that, do get in touch with me, and I can it's for anybody who's part of our team, who's signed up with us, or who has already watched one of our introductory classes via one of our Blooming and Glowing community. So yeah, lemon oil is a great oil that you can be using to clean your kitchen because it has antimicrobial properties. So it can really eliminate germs, cut through grease, and brings things up really shiny and beautiful. And also it smells great, and you're not breathing in those chemicals that you do have in standard cleaning products. So yeah, it's a great oil. It pulls stains out of things as well. So like the other day, my husband, he we went skiing at the beginning of the year, and he borrowed my brother-in-law's white ski jacket, and we were seeing them last week, and it wasn't really that dirty actually, but he was going to wash it anyway, so we got it out and he was trying to look for the washing instructions, and along came baby Ziggy with tomato sauce hands and just put them all over this beautiful white coat, and obviously that can really stain. So we got the lemon oil out, we dripped it all over the stains, and we put it straight in the wash, and it came out beautifully because lemon oil will break down stains and pull out chemicals and toxins. Okay, so yeah, great option. Next oil is peppermint. So I have peppermint here, obviously. This is very stimulating. It's energizing. It actually oxidizes the blood. So it's a great oil to be using before or after exercise for energy. This oil helps to ward off sugar cravings, and this really works. Like, you add a drop of this to some water in the afternoon and it's going to stop you wanting that sugary treat. It really works. Also freshens the breath. So anybody with halitosis, you can add a drop to your toothpaste in the morning. It's a great oil. As you know, a lot of people use peppermint to soothe any kind of tummy upset. People drink peppermint tea after a heavy meal. It does the same thing, but it's way more powerful. So you could be having a drop in some warm water. It's also really supportive for any head tension. So applying a drop to the temple. It's very cooling, okay? So you may want to dilute this oil. Because it's so cooling, it's a great oil that you could reach for if your child's not well with, you know, and they need cooling down. A swipe of fractionated coconut oil up the spine, and then a swipe of your peppermint oil. I like to create my own roller balls with my oils for my children. So I'll have ready-made roller balls. You can get these from a company called Essential Oil Supplies or Baldwins of London, and you can buy your own glass roller balls and create your own blends. So we have immunity blends, we have defense blends for if they get really unwell, we have blends for teething. So much fun you can have with them. So this opens the airways, okay, so you can inhale it deeply over sort of a bowl of warm water to steam, and also you can add it to things like hot chocolates or nut milks. It's really, really divine. Raw chocolates, it's delicious. Also it's repellent, so spiders, mice, insects, they don't like peppermint oil. So when we go camping, we'll put a couple of drops of peppermint oil on our bunting, or we'll have our diffuser going if we're on holiday, and that's going to ward off the midges. Next thing is lavender that I'm going to talk about. So lavender is very well known, isn't it, to be very calming. It's actually the most widely used essential oil in the world. A lot of people associate it with relaxation and sleep. It's a powerful sedative. So yeah, because you can use this one internally, a drop in some water before bed will help you have a really restful sleep. So, you know, I have a lot of people coming to me who really struggle with sleep, and that is debilitating. It affects your life. So a drop of this in some water before bed, and hopefully you'll be off to sleep in no time. And we've had some incredible results with that. But also, as well as using it emotionally, so, you know, to help you calm down and relax, a couple of drops in the bath, using it in the diffuser, on your feet to relax, on your children's feet before bed, give them a nice little massage. It's also physically calming and relaxing. So think about the skin. So it's very calming of the skin. So any kind of itchiness, swellings, insect bites, or for stinging nettle stings or burns. Very, very calming for burns. In fact, that's how they first discovered the healing capacity of essential oils, when a gentleman in France, he burnt himself, and his family were perfumers. So he plunged his hands into what he thought was a bucket of water, but it wasn't. It was pure lavender oil. And he noticed how quickly the pain was taken away, how it healed so beautifully. It didn't blister, no scarring. And that's how they first discovered the healing capacity of essential oils. Lavender is also very good for seasonal allergies. So again, I said I suffer with allergies in the spring, so this is one that I will use. And we've got here that you can create lovely gifts. Yeah, maybe some Epsom salts with some drops of lavender in, maybe a wooden spoon. It's a lovely gift for somebody you can give with love. Stops bleeding as well, lavender, and it's great for bruising. So it's a very versatile oil. Melaleuca. Okay, so this is doTERRA's tea tree species that they've chosen from Australia. It's like first aid for the skin. It does a lot of things. This is an oil that we get through regularly in our house. So you can apply it as part of a daily cleansing program. You can use it in shampoos or conditioners for a healthy scalp. It's kind of powerful for, any kind of fungal stuff going on, or icky toenails, or athlete's foot, stuff like that. Verrucas and warts. This is going to be powerful oil. You want to just dab on with a cotton wool bud. Things like head lice, scabies, nits, things like that, they don't like Melaleuca. I don't want to use the chemical stuff that you can buy over the counter. You can just smell the chemicals in that. So when my children had the letter home from school, we looked it up in our book, and we used Melaleuca, lemon, eucalyptus and rosemary. And we used it in the doTERRA shampoo because they have a beautiful shampoo. We used it in the conditioner. So what we did was we washed our hair normally, then we added a drop or two into the conditioner, left that in the hair for a while, and then combed out with the nitty gritty comb, and we never had any problem. And then what I also did is I created my own repellent blend, so a couple of drops of each in a glass bottle, filled up with water, and used that to spritz their head every day before they left for school. And we had no problem with any nits because they didn't want to jump on. So that's a great tip. Ear pain. Yes, my children had this a couple of times actually, where they woke up in the night screaming with pain. And so we followed the guidelines in the book. We used some cotton wool, a little ball of cotton wool, added a drop of lavender, drop of Melaleuca, kind of moved it around a bit so it was a bit dispersed, put that in the ear with a plaster over the top. They went back to sleep. This actually happened on 2 consecutive nights. So the first night it was my middle boy, and then the second night was my eldest, and the same thing happened both nights. They went back to sleep because the lavender is very calming, and then that allowed the Melaleuca to get to work. The next morning woke up fine. No antipyretics to bring a temperature down or to stop the pain. Obviously we know that these don't always contain great ingredients. I don't really want to be giving that to my children, so I would rather have safe and natural alternatives. And then in the morning, no need for a doctor's appointment and no need to have antibiotics at all. Instagram's going to time out in a minute, so you'll have to hop over onto Blooming and Glowing, the Facebook page, and then you'll see the link to this webinar, and you can just join us over on Zoom, because we'll lose you in about a minute on Insta. So Blooming and Glowing on Facebook, hop over and you'll be able to find us on the event link for the class. So yeah, that's Melaleuca. Oregano, this is your powerhouse. This is your bad boy. So we don't tend to use this unless we're unwell, and then we use it, and then it just gets rid of everything. And yeah, I wouldn't want to be without this one in times of need. It's a powerhouse. It's powerful. And there's a lot of research on this one. And there's a great video that I love to show. And I'd love to send you this. So if you're watching, do send me some information, because I'd like to send you a follow-up to this class. And there's a great video where you can see the effects of oregano and Melaleuca together on a bacteria cell in a petri dish. And what you see is the Melaleuca breaking down the shell of the bacteria, and the lipid fat layer, and then the oregano gets in to kill the bacteria. It's really powerful. So this is one that you always want to dilute because it's a hot oil. You dilute it more than you would some of the other oils. Kind of smells like pizza. You can add it to your food, but a little goes a long way. So not too much, because I've ruined dishes before with just one drop. So this is one that you're going to, if you're unwell, I like to put a drop in some water and gargle. If I have a sore throat, often that's my kind of weakness. So I'll put a drop in some water and gargle and then swallow. Or you could be using it in your veggie caps. You could go for the immunity bomb, which is On Guard, which we'll talk about in a minute, melaleuca, oregano, lemon, and frankincense. A couple of drops of each in a veggie cap. Take that 3 times away, bam. You're fine, you're sorted. Oregano is also supportive for inflammation in the body. If it's your children that are unwell, you wouldn't be giving it to them internally. So you would be diluting and applying to the bottom of their feet. So I like to make my roller balls up and do this for them instead. It's like a natural defense. It also cleanses the gut. So if you've got anything going on like intestinal parasites, or yeast infections or candida, anything like that, then oregano is a great oil. And melaleuca and oregano together are powerful. Also warts, verrucas, skin tags, childhood molluscum as well. Deep Blue. So we're going to move on to the blends now. So this one has a different bottle top. It means that you can't take this one internally because it contains wintergreen, which is not designed to be taken internally. So this is really the soothing blend, it's called. It's for the skin. So for the aches and the muscles and the joints and pain in the body, and you would be applying it for the skin, diluted probably. It is actually blue. It contains blue chamomile, blue tansy, wintergreen, helichrysum, ylang ylang. It's got quite a strong smell. The peppermint in there and the wintergreen is quite medicinal. I really like it. So you're going to apply this to any area of pain. It's great for kind of a massage. You could rub it on your muscles before or after exercise. It's a great one for head tension again, deep head pain, the sort of head pain where you can't open your eyes, that sort of head pain. People have had amazing results. Or any rheumatoid conditions as well. So I've seen people be able to open their hands when previously they had no movement there, by just having a gentle massage with this oil. You can get Deep Blue actually in a rub, and they do a polyphenol complex as well, which is a tablet that you can take internally. It doesn't have the wintergreen in it, so it's safe. So it's definitely the tension blend for any pain in the body, any kind of period cramping or sort of pain in the abdominal region, even just sort of like pains in your children's legs as they're growing, or even just like sore feet, or if you're on your computer all day, you've got some tension in the back of the neck, this would be a great oil to use. So Breathe. This is respiratory support, okay? So this is like a natural alternative to some of the paraffin or petroleum-based products that you might be used to, or you may have had used on you when you were younger. The problem with this is like some of these products, they're petrol based. Somebody the other day was telling me that he went to a forest school and they were learning how to light a fire, and the guide got out a pot of Vaseline, and that's because it's petroleum, and yet we didn't question using this on our children's skin. I mean, how is that healthy? So this is a really safe and natural alternative for any kind of respiratory conditions. You would be applying it to the chest and to the back. It opens the airways, even upper respiratory conditions and lower respiratory conditions. You can apply it to the soles of the feet. It's beautiful in the diffuser to open the airways. I have some amazing stories about this oil of parents that have been at the end of their tether, have been desperate to try and find something because their children have serious breathing conditions, they're on lots and lots of medication and they can't breathe, and they don't want them to be on the steroids, and they've done their own research, they've been empowered, and they've come across the oils, they've started using them, and they've had incredible results, and sometimes they've even been able to come off their medication, working with their consultant. But these oils, they work. So what I say to people is, try them, because actually in many cases they are also safe to use alongside standard meds. So it's not like it has to be one or the other. And obviously consult with your doctor on this, but in many cases they're fine to use alongside. And what they help to do is they help with the symptoms of some standard medications, the side effects that standard meds have and bring, which we know they do, have a lot of side effects. So yeah, they help the body with that healing process from the inside out. So that is Breathe Oil. Yeah. Zengest, so this used to be called Digest Zen. It's the digestive blend. So this brings the body back to the balance that it needs. It may be that you're blocked up. It may be that you're too loose, but it doesn't kind of do the opposite. So sometimes you'll take over-the-counter meds if you're bunged up, and it will make you have the runs. It doesn't do that. The oils bring the body back to the balance that it needs to be at. This is a great oil for any upset tummy issues, even emotional tummy ache or worry. It contains peppermint, caraway seed, fennel, anise, caraway. It's beautiful. You can have it in a drop of water before or after a heavy meal to support digestion. You can be applying it to the abdomen for kind of flatulence or gas, or any constipation or IBS, even more serious digestive and tummy issues. Yeah, it's a great product. That is Zengest. Oh, also, when I was pregnant, I used to get quite acidic at night time. So I used to have a drop of this in some water, and it was instantly soothing. Okay, so On Guard. So this, I would say, is the reason I came to doTERRA, actually, for the protective blend. I was so excited when I heard about these oils and how you could almost use them as a natural medicine cabinet. And you mean to tell me that there's an oil for everything? When I was looking through this little mini booklet, there were over 200 minor ailments, and there were several essential oils for every ailment, and this one kept coming up, On Guard. I was like, what is that? I want that. I need that for my boys. So this contains a combination of very protective oils to ward off the germs and viruses. There's a lot of research on this oil, a lot of hospitals in America using it. It's powerful. So you have cinnamon, you have clove, you have wild orange, eucalyptus, rosemary. It smells like Christmas in a bottle as well, which is an added bonus. So you can be diffusing into a room to reduce environmental threats and purify the air of any germs. Someone comes around to your house coughing, just whack your diffuser on, la la la, all is well. I like to dilute in a spray bottle to have to kind of clean the doorknobs and the toilet handle, and I'll spray it over my children's heads. I'll spray it in their mouths. Surfaces in the house, we have it as like a sanitizer when we're out and about. We don't want to use the antibacterial gels, because the problem with those is they're killing your good gut bacteria as well as your bad. In the States, I think that some of the ingredients are banned these days. We're now knowing that some of these products that we just use so willy-nilly and so happily are actually not good for us. So what you want is natural, safe alternatives that are still powerful, but don't have that negative effect on your good gut bacteria, because you need that. That's your immune system. That's where it starts, in your gut. So you can dilute this and you can gargle it. So if you had a sore throat, I like to gargle and swallow a bit. It's really great for cleansing your toothbrushes. So say 5 drops per toothbrush in some water to kill any germs. There's a lot of germs in our mouths. And yeah, you can be using it in an empty veggie cap for added immune support, perhaps with some other powerhouse oils. We've got a school in the UK where they're diffusing On Guard in every classroom. They're doing some nice studies on attendance and how often the children are getting ill. And then they're diffusing some other lovely oils as well for mood support, for relaxation, for calm, for focus. Yeah, I think these oils should be in every school and in every hospital, and we're starting to see it, which is really, really exciting. People are waking up. Okay, the last oil I want to finish with is frankincense. Let's save the best till last. This is known as the king of all oils. Um, it's a very prized oil and a very precious oil, so it's really fantastic that it is in this kit because it's expensive on its own. One 15 milliliter bottle of the frankincense will cost you about £56, and that's wholesale. Okay, so it was worth every penny. It's a very, very complex oil, and what you have to remember as well is most essential oils that you buy are fragrance oils. doTERRA oils are different than like medicine-based oils. And they're a therapeutic grade, so they're totally different. Frankincense has a very, very complex molecular makeup. It contains very, very fine compounds, sesquiterpenes, monoterpenes, and there's a lot of research on frankincense oil being able to access the brain and pass through the blood-brain barrier. So there's a lot of research on frankincense for brain-related issues. So I would say do some research on it. Some of the issues that we get in later life with memory and with brain fog, even mood swings and low feelings. There's a lot of research there. And it's also a cellular regenerator. So it helps to support healthy cells, and it helps with elimination of unhealthy cells or mutagenic cells. So again, do your research, be empowered, go on PubMed, type in frankincense, see what comes up. Even in the Modern Essentials book that I told you about, there's a lot of research there on frankincense. So yeah, have a look. So because it is such a cellular regenerator, it's also really beautiful for the skin. So we like to use it at night time in a carrier oil. It's very, very calming and meditative as well. So a lot of yogis like to use frankincense, and a lot of energy healers like frankincense because it's known to have one of the highest vibrational frequencies of the oils. So you could be using it in massage on the soles of the feet, diffusing it, or using it on the skin. It's a beautiful oil for babies. Obviously, it was brought to the baby Jesus along with myrrh. So my Ziggy, when he was born, he had frankincense to anoint him. He had myrrh on his tummy button, and he really is such a calm, chilled out baby. He has his moments like they all do, but yeah, for the most part. And my children love the oils. So it's powerful yet gentle. And also in the same way, when somebody's nearing the end of their life and they're ready to go, it's a very spiritual oil to help somebody to pass over. And I had a lady, she emailed me to thank me when her mother was very old. She was in a hospice, but the daughter took in the diffuser and she had the frankincense diffusing, and she was able to give her mum a foot massage. And she said that she knew that it brought her mother great comfort, and it brought her comfort as well. And this is the thing about these oils. You know, they are comfort in the palms of your hands when sometimes you have nothing else to reach for and you don't know what else to do. And that is worth everything. So yeah, frankincense is a truly, truly beautiful oil. The other thing it does is it helps to reduce the inflammatory response within the body. And because it has those fine complex molecules, it also acts as a driver for other oils. So you could apply it after another oil to help to drive that oil in. So for example, if you're using peppermint or head tension, put some frankincense over the top. That's going to really help. Okay, so that is the end of that kit. I really, really hope that you've enjoyed learning about the oils and you've learned something new. And I hope you feel inspired and empowered to perhaps give them a try yourself, because they are amazing. And you only need to try them to see, or just to smell them, to realize the difference. So for anybody that is interested in getting started, some of you already have accounts, but anybody that doesn't, you're going to want to go to the person who's introduced you to doTERRA. If it's me, this is what you do. There's 3 different ways that you can buy the oils. The first is retail. Nobody really does it that way. It's not the best way to do it. It's 25% more. You don't get the same support. You don't get the same resources. You're not making good savings. So it's not what I would suggest. The second way to buy them is wholesale. This is what most people do. So it means you're getting 25% off. You're getting tons and tons of support. And you have a wholesale account that you can log into. You get 25% off. There's no obligation to have to buy again, by the way. So it's not like you're tied into anything or contracted. It's just there as and when, should you wish to buy some oils, you get the discount. You also get a free wellness consultation with myself or with the person who introduced you to doTERRA, where we go through your oils to make sure that you're confident and happy, you understand them, you make the most out of them. That's what we want, because they're incredible, but we want you to use them right and enjoy them. You also get access to lots of resources. If you're part of our team, you get access to a whole series of continued education, learning about the different ways you can be using the oil. So this really is like just the start of the journey, and a new way of life, and adding something really beautiful and intentional to your life. So you do truly live that happier, healthier you, feel the best that you possibly can. So you get a lot of value with wholesale membership. Usually it's £24 for wholesale membership for a year. After a year, it's £15 usually to renew, but you get a free peppermint oil, so it's essentially free. However, the best way to start that most people do is they start with a enrollment kit, and that means that £24 is free. You don't pay that. So here are some of the kits to give you an example. So we spoke about the family on the top left here, the Family Essentials kit. It used to be called the Family Physicians kit, which is why it says that there, but it's updated. So that's your 10 oils that we spoke about tonight, and you get a free metabolic blend as well. This is a really good kit. It's £110 plus postage, and you've got a very well-rounded collection of oils there, as you know, in the 5ml bottles. So moving over to the right, top right, you've got the Home Essentials kit. Now this is probably the most popular kit. This is the kit I suggest. It's the kit that I got started with. You've got the same 10 oils, but all of them are 15ml, apart from the deep blue, which is always 5ml. So you're getting 3 times as much oil, and you get a free diffuser with this kit as well, which makes them much more versatile. But it's not 3 times the price, it's just double the price. So value wise, this kit is really, really good value for money, and you are going to get through these oils. So obviously it depends on your budget and what you're looking for, but this is a great option. The other great option about this kit is that there's an offer on this month that's ending in 3 days, where you can get Immortelle oil, which is, hopefully you can see it in my hand, which is the anti-aging blend. And this is usually worth £96. You can get it totally free with any orders of over 200 PV. So you would get this for free with the Home Essentials kit. So if you added up all of the oils in these kits on their own, and bought them separately, and the diffuser and the account and the Immortelle, you'll be spending over £400. So as you can see, it does work out much cheaper to buy the oils when you start off within a kit. So that's the Home Essentials kit, and you would get free Immortelle. I'm going to tell you a bit more about Immortelle in a minute because it's truly beautiful. I just wanted to point out this kit as well, the Family Wellness kit, which is second down on the left. This is a really cool kit too, because actually you have the 10 oils in the smaller 5ml bottles, but you also have the Lifelong Vitality kit, which is the nutritional supplements that I told you about. And then you've got a fine smattering of other products. So you've got the fractionated coconut oil for dilution. You've got the past tense rollerball, which is the tension blend. You have some On Guard products. So you have the On Guard mini beadlets, which are like mini caviar. You can pop them in the hands for sanitizing when you're out and about. You can pop them in the mouth to sanitize the mouth. I give these to my children because they're like a third of a drop. You've got the On Guard foaming hand wash, great product. You can actually dilute this about 4 times into the pump, so it goes a long way, and it foams. Who doesn't love foam? Children love foam, but it's a natural sanitizer that doesn't get rid of the good gut bacteria. You've got the On Guard toothpaste. My children love this. It's whitening and freshening of the breath, kills the germs in the mouth. You've also got an On Guard ready-made blue bomb with black pepper and oregano, so that's your immunity blend. So that is a really, really good kit as well. If you wanted to get the free Immortelle, you need to spend over 200, so you might want to add something to that kit to get the free Immortelle. So do get in touch if you've enjoyed the webinar tonight. We would love to hear your feedback, and we usually on our live classes we'll give out a feedback form. On the feedback form there's 2 things that we want to tell you about. So obviously there's the different classes that we offer, and we want to know what you want to hear about, what you want to learn about more. But also there are 3 different types of people when it comes to doTERRA. So the first, and the most people, are just customers that love the oils, they love to use them and benefit from them, and once they start using them, they don't want to go back and use anything different because they notice the difference. Yeah, I say the oils aren't addictive, but they are in some ways, but in a good way. So the first type of person is a customer. Then the next type of person is somebody that's listened to the class or been to a class and thinks, I'd like to tell the people I care about these oils, and I think that my auntie Susan could benefit, or I think that she'd be really interested, or he would. So if that's you and you'd like to run a class at your house, then myself or one of my team can come and do this all for you. It's very laid back and relaxed. It's not salesy or pushy. We focus on education. Everybody that comes to the oils tends to be extremely passionate about them because we have seen how they've changed people's lives. So we are really passionate about teaching and educating and helping people. And that's why I love what I do. So if you are interested in that, we can come to you, we can bring refreshments, and we can teach the people you care about something beautiful. So let us know if you're interested in that. We are booking in April and May at the moment. And then the third type of person is somebody that thinks, I feel like I want to do more. I want to get involved with this more. There is a business side of things, obviously, and I'm going to say I love the oils. They are incredible. But as somebody that's been involved with this business for just 2.5 years, it has massively changed our lives in terms of fulfillment and being able to be doing something that really brings satisfaction in helping others. But not only that, it has actually brought us financial security and freedom as well. And I love working with like-minded, intentional, inspired women and men, and helping everybody to rise up and aspire to their own dreams and their greatest potential and higher self. And that's something that I love about the business as well. So if you are looking for something in your life, you kind of want to take the reins back of your life and be a bit more in control, then this is a fantastic opportunity right now. And we are looking for people to join our team, to sponsor them and to help them with whatever they want it to be. The great thing about doTERRA is it can be whatever you want. It might be that you just want to cover the costs of having the oils in your life. It might be that you want to supplement your income by £200 to £500 a month, something like that. That's what I thought when I first started. Or it might be that you want to totally replace your income and more. That's what's happened to us now. My husband's been able to leave his job. Our children are now able to go to the school that we choose for them to go to, and we can pay for it. And we have time back. We have freedom back. We have time with our family. So yeah, I'm not going to speak too much more about that now, but if you are interested, you can stay on the call. In about 5 minutes, I'll go through any questions about the business side of things if anyone is interested, or just let us know and we can take you through how it works. You've got nothing to lose, everything to gain. So that is it. I'm going to come back to you, and I'll stop the screen share and open up to any questions.